is clearing up a rumor about demolition of the Expo Gardens. A Facebook post with more than 1,000 likes and hundreds of shares suggested Expo Gardens will soon be torn down. It will, but not yet. The longtime fair and concert venue was bought by the city of Peoria in September in a foreclosure deal. The city plans to build single-family homes there, but the city of Peoria, the officials there said a date is not yet scheduled for demolition.